For us, every day is a new opportunity to make sure our first impressions are always our best and to see possibilities on the horizon, to make our facilities and services more accessible and find freedom all around us. With a location proximity to active markets, with a liberal air transportation policy, that daily pursuit is how we turn everyday opportunities for you. For all destination marketing support, customized packages for new existing airlines and operators, and for a highly ranked tourist destination, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is here to serve. We regulate air transport, operate and manage BIA technical requirements merged with commercial considerations. We have experienced and well-trained aviation professionals to cater for your needs. For investment opportunities in building airport hotels, shopping malls, playground for children, do contact us on 4472-831, 4472-893. Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. We go beyond daily.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm in London that can help you with all aspects of your legal work. If you are looking at immigrating to the United Kingdom, Stewart & Co. can help you to set up business, buy houses in the UK, and will deal with all your legal works from start to finish.
For all your general immigration work, we can help you with that as well. If you apply for any form of visa, whether student visas, settlement visas, marriage visas, or a child wanting to come to the United Kingdom to settle with the family, we can help you to achieve your goals.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm specializing in conveyancing, immigration, litigation, family law, personal injury, licensing, no win, no fee. Contact us today at www.sk-solicitors.com.
Can't do small or big projects with the same dedication and commitment as we do. With a reputation as the leading printing company in the country, when it comes to major projects and innovative solutions, we always deliver in high quality, thus receiving the trust and confidence of our clients. From the moment your order is placed to when it is delivered, we believe in exceeding expectations from the sales manager to the production team, the account manager, and the person delivering your material. We have state-of-the-art equipment and a highly experienced and competent workforce that enables us to deliver top quality work on time. At reasonable prices, we provide our clients with multiple solutions right from conceptualizing, designing, printing, binding, publishing, and distribution. For all your printing requirements, we are strategically located at the Sankumsila Highway, the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation. We print what you desire.
In today's world, everything imaginable is on the internet, which is amazing. And to find anything, it is easy. But that's not the case for Lami. His standard internet connection is frustratingly slow, unable to focus on important things in life. He can't stream a video or search anything. He is fed up with messages like address is not found, timeout connection, and Internet Explorer cannot find web page. That's when his friend Fatima introduces him to Gamtel. At Gamtel, we provide viable, cost-effective, and sustainable internet solutions to businesses and homes. With our nationwide fiber broadband connectivity through EcoOne Gambia project, you can now say goodbye to slow internet. We provide quality services, blazing speed, and amazing customer services. All these at affordable price. Be like Lami and start using Gamtel broadband internet today. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Kerr Fatou. Tonight, I think this is a very special Kerr Fatou. Brody is an American human rights lawyer who has worked to fight for victims. We have heard about him in the Pinochet case. Of course, the famous Hussein Habré case, where he fought alongside the victims of Hussein Habré to bring him to justice. It took him years to bring justice to the people of Chad. And tonight we have a great honor. I welcome you to our studios, Mr. Brody. Welcome to Kerr Fatou.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to be here.
And of course, we have another special guest in the studio, Martin. Martin Kyere is a Ghanaian who was part of the people that were arrested in 2005. That brings to mind the 2005 massacre by the Gambian authorities. Martin is the sole survivor of that 2005 massacre. For the first time coming back to Gambia, we welcome Martin to our studios. Martin, welcome to Kerr Fatou.
Coming up on Kerr Fatou.
So immediately we came down from the vessel, a man with a cutlass put it in the shirt here, tear it. That man have a crown hat, there's a horn up here, big talisman up here, big soldier. So 1-5 minutes, the bus came in. Join the bus.
Make a difference and text CAR CAR to 900 to win a car with Gamcell. Gamcell and Rotary Club of Bruceby brings you a chance to win a brand new SUV Corando. The more you text, the more chances you win. Join Gamcell today for your chance to win a car, fridge freezers, televisions, smartphones, and lots of cash prizes. Draws will be held live on GRTS TV. Proceeds will be used to help the humanitarian activities of the Rotary Club of Bruceby in the Gambia. Every SMS costs $10. Your SMS could save someone's life. Join us and text CAR CAR to 900 today. A brand new SUV Corando awaits you. Rotary, making a difference. Gamcell, Yaiborom.
Oli, this story, having Brody here, he is somebody that internationally is recognized for fighting alongside victims to bring justice. So it's going to be an interesting discussion. Well, 22 years it took him to bring his Hussein Habré to justice. How long is it going to take him to bring Jammeh to justice is the big question, Oli.
Thank you very much, Fatou, and welcome to the Kerr Fatou show. As we always say, Kerr Fatou is a platform where everybody has a place. It's a platform where we talk about issues that affect people, and talking about bringing justice for Gambians, bringing justice for victims of Jammeh is definitely something that is welcomed by every Gambian, and it gives us a little hope. It took 22 years for Hussein Habré, yes, but we have this belief that for Gambia, it can take way lesser than 22 years. As Fatou has mentioned, we've seen the recent launching of the TRFC, and we believe that with the stories coming out, with having people coming out and say, this is what happened to me, and this was done by this particular person, we believe that will definitely speed up things. And again, for Martin, I would say welcome. It's home, as you said, here is home, but then again, it brings a lot of memories. They're not the best of memories, but they, again, for the fight for Gambians to heal, because we need to heal. Martin is definitely a forefront and a center person that can help us in that healing. So we welcome you once again. And as Fatou has said, how long will it take? That's a big question. So we will definitely, while we get through in the conversation, we would ask you more questions, and people watching would really understand, and the way forward would be very clear.
Thank you, Oli. Brody, I'll start with you. You have fought along victims in Chile, in Chad. But why Gambia? There are so many other dictators across the world. Why Gambia?
Well, it really began when we were working on the Hussein Habré case. And actually, each of these cases build on the other one. So when I was working on the case of Augusto Pinochet, this was a Chilean dictator who was arrested in London on a warrant from a Spanish judge for crimes allegedly committed in Chile. And I had the privilege of working, and so Pinochet, when Pinochet was arrested in London, the former president, he went before the British courts and said, well, you can't arrest me. I'm a former head of state. I have immunity.
Yeah.
And the case went up to the House of Lords, which was then the highest court. I had the privilege of participating in the legal arguments. And when the House of Lords said, no, you can be prosecuted anywhere in the world for torture, for crimes against humanity, despite your status as a former head of state, we realized that we had a tool in international justice to bring to book people who seemed out of the reach of justice. And the Chadian victims of Hissène Habré, in fact, all around the world, it was a moment of effervescence, because it not only was a dictator arrest upheld, it was an iconic dictator, Pinochet, the Latin American strongman, but it was also his victims who had done it. This wasn't a faraway court or a faraway prosecutor. These were cases that were brought by the victims. And so people around the world started saying, well, maybe we can do that. And the Chadians came to us, and a Chadian human rights activist named Delphine Jahaib said, we want to do what the Chadians have, or we want to do what the Chileans have done. So as you say, it took quite a long time. In my personal, it took 17 years for them, even before I got there. But ultimately, 2 years ago, Hissène Habré was prosecuted in Senegal and convicted for his crimes. And, you know, Senegal, Gambia, and so everybody, first of all, everybody in Senegal was saying, Reed, when you finish with Hissène Habré, you got to help the victims.
Gambia, right?
Jammeh. And just around the time we were finishing, Yahya Jammeh fell. And we were contacted, I was contacted by a Gambian woman, Nana Jo Ndao, whose father, Saul Ndao, had been murdered by the Jammeh regime. Yeah. And we were in Dakar. I was with the leadership of the Victims Association, with their very brave lawyer, Jacqueline Moudena, a woman who had survived a grenade attack, to fight for them in court. A man named Suleiman Gengeng, who, as people were dying in his prison cells around him, he took an oath before God that if he ever got out, he would fight for justice. And so Suleiman and I and Jacqueline and Clement and Abdurrahman, we came down here to Banjul, and we met with the New Victims Association, with Baba Haidara, with Skatra Janneh, with Fatoumata Sandeng, with Yamami, with, you know, Sharif Kyere, with everybody. And we talked about how the victims had done it in the Habré case, and how, you know, it took a long time, but, you know, you push and you push. And I think there was, you could see it in the eyes, I mean, of people like Baba Haidara said, you know, if these guys can do it, we can do it too. Yeah. And I think that's what is exciting about doing this, is to see that this is something, you know, if we're here talking about this massacre, it's because of Martin, the only survivor. And not only the only survivor, he then went around and started building the evidence and started contacting the other families. And I see the same thing here in Gambia. It's very exciting to see how people like Aisha Jammeh, whose father, Haruna, was killed by Yahya Jammeh, how people have decided they are fighting and they are not giving up. So for me, it's kind of a natural evolution, surrounded by people by victims and activists who have decided to do this. And I hope we'll, and the expectations are also very different. You know, when we started working in Chad, there were a couple of victims. One victim in particular said to me, well, depuis quand la justice est-elle venue jusqu'au Chad? Since when has justice come all the way to Chad? Like, you guys are crazy, what you're doing. And now the expectations are totally different. It says, okay, we want to do it, but we don't want to take 22 years. We want to do it quicker. And that's fine. And I think that, you know, people see that it can be done.
It can be done, definitely. And we have, Gambians have a lot of hope in what you have done, because if Chad can do it, obviously we can do it too. But coming to Martin, first time coming back to Gambia, first and foremost, how does it feel coming back here?
You know, yesterday night you seen the road Barra, from Barra police station to where the ferry crossed to Gambia, Banjul. It wasn't an easy for me, because the first time I used the first road, I was arrested by Gambian authorities in the hands of police, guarding us with guns, escorting us as if we are rebels, and, you know, not that much, but with my friends, innocent, handsome guys, very beautiful, you know, ladies and all those things. And yesterday night was, you know, it's not like coming to Gambia, but, you know, it was a sad moment for me. If I was accompanied by the families and the victims' families, you will see the way they would tears, the way they would cry hard, because that way from Barra police station to the ferry, it was a dangerous way for Kenyans people to pass there, because when you pass there, that means you are going to lose your life.
Tell us, for those of us who don't know what happened to you and your fellow countrymen and some other people in 2005, tell us about your journey. When did you get to Gambia, and how did you come to Gambia, and how were you arrested?
You know, we was in Dakar, early 2005. I was in Dakar, and the intention is going to Europe. You know, and we had a man whose name is Charles Taylor, who is a captain, and he had a vessel, and he came to our place that he want people to, if you are interested in going to Europe, sure, and we show interest. But we refused to give him money because of what is happening in Senegal at that time. So he came here, Banjul, and found a man whose name is Lami Tunkara. And he also, people also approached him if he can help them to back on journey to Europe. So he assured the captain he can give him money, but unless he bring the vessel back here in Banjul. So the captain came here with the vessel to Banjul. So the preparation started from Senegal, and we are 56 in number. We find a place called Sali Imbu. It's a Sali around Imbu, and we had a big canoe from Imbu, and we are 56 in number. The intention is going to join the vessel, but we get a point, we find difficult to locate, communicate to the captain because there is no network. And it was getting to morning, and we found there is a light, and the canoe guys say, okay, this is Gambia, let's go there so that we can make proper communication. So early in the morning, we found ourselves in Banjul port, and 6 of our guys decide to enter Banjul so that they can buy chips and make proper call. Immediately they get down from canoe, there was Navy around. So we heard the gunshot, po, 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 po. And the canoe guys, they say, oh, they have been killed, they have been killed. And return the canoe back to the sea. And it's like a contract between the travelers and the canoe guys. Say, okay, the contract is 1 night. So we want our canoe back to Senegal. So there is the beach there, Barra Beach. We are going to put you there, and you'll find your captain so that you can join your vessel. At the Barra Beach, we sent 3 of our guys to Barra Town to communicate to captain. And the captain said, no, you haven't heard from the 6 guys. So maybe police have been arrested him. So with the rest, we should find a canoe. There is a canoe at the Barra there. There is a village, so we can rest there evening time. They will release so that we can all move together. For that matter, he will send Lamini Tunkara to go and find from police station to police station so that he can grant them a bail. So at the process of finding canoe, we get to a man whose brother is policeman, and they arrested the 3 guys who are going for canoe. So we waited at the Barra Beach throughout the day, so even around 4:30, there are 3 canoes, medium size, heading towards where we are. And it came with one of our guys. So we did not wait for canoe to even get to the beach because we have waited there for long. We joined the canoe and later found out we have been arrested by police. So they brought us back to Barra Town, where there is about 20 to 35 policemen with guns waiting for us. They marched us straight to Barra Town police station, where our passports and ID cards was taken. And later the headers of Barra Town, they came in there, and so with Kenyans and Nigerians, maybe they are traveling. So later they brought in 207 bus. They take away 30 of our guys, and they brought them to Banjul. Around 9 p.m. they came for us. And while we are in the vessel, they brought the vessel so that we can cross the River Gambia. So the beating started in the vessel, left and right, at the back of the gun, beating everywhere. They do not ask you anything. You want to destroy Gambia? What do you want here? You kill you see today. You are not going back to your country. You want to destroy a small country like this? Oh. So.
Are they wearing any mask?
No, they are people, soldiers, police, with police sticks and guns. So the time we crossed to Banjul port, the first 30, you will find it difficult to identify your sister, that this is my sister. Their face has been changed, or they have been taken off their shirts, left their underwears, they have been tied by a rope. They have been beating where the blood is over everywhere. There's about 200 to 300 military and police around. So immediately we came down from the vessel, a man with a cutlass, he put it on your shirt here, tear it. That man have a ground heart, there's a horn up here, big talisman up here, big soldier. So around 5 minutes, a bus came in. Join the bus, join the bus. So the bus are doubled up. So we joined the bus and the soldiers joined us in the bus. The beatings everywhere, beatings, cry for help, beatings. They sent us first police station, Bundum police station. Then you get down. So in the Bundum police station, I was able to find myself. So I just rushed to the cells and they sent the 40 away. And at the same night, they came for 2 and they brought in Lamin Tunkara around 1 a.m. Next day morning, they came for our statement, fingerprints, passport picture. So Tuesday, newspaper reported 50 foreigners has been arrested, 8 dead bodies have been found. We don't know that our companions have been started killing because we know in the hands of police authorities. Yes. So we are not thinking about who is finding dead body outside the Banju. Not knowing that they have started killing from far. So we spent 1 week at the Bundun cells. Later, in the night, they came in with a big car. Some of our guys are inside. 5 should get up. So we joined the car and they sent us to the house. Later they go for our guys. We are 15 in number, including Lamini Tunkara. Around 12 p.m., midnight, around midnight. The car came in, white pickup, double the car. 3 soldiers, bullets around them, gun. They enter into the hall like this. And 1 officer came with a long cutlass. You people must go and dress. We are going to release you. So you go to your corner, you dress. They come hold your hand, they send you outside. They take off your shirt again, take your underwear, they tied you with wire. So the first 4, they tied them. The wire was too long, so they used the rest of the wire to tie their necks and send it back. So they are just looking up like this. And they pushed them to the pickup. And they came for the rest 4. So they placed their bags alongside them. And there's 2 ladies. Their bags is too big, so they say, we are going to release this after they will come for the rest. If you don't want to die, don't jump for this pickup. We take north direction from Banju. So as we are going, one guy started praying. Who is that? The man came with cutlass, said this guy. Just brought him down, slashed his backbone here with a cutlass, bah! And it's open. And the guy breathing, because it was so night, everybody was praying for his life, so I have to concentrate. He just breathing. So we branched from the highway to the untied road. That was there is a village there. The ship crossed the pickup, and the pickup knocked the ship. They stopped. They brought in the ship. We are going to travel with the ship tonight, okay? So the dead ship, we are going to travel. So they are going to kill us. So on that way, we just branched to the forest again, where the pickup is finding its way to the forest. It's around 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. They meet in the forest there. We get to a valley where 2 soldiers take off our bags. They get into the valley, and other 2 soldiers are guarding us. 1 officer with a cutlass and another. So a guy complained that his hand was suffering because of the wire. The soldier came with the cutlass with his shoulder here. He just slashed it 1 time. Bah! And the hand was nearly fell, but it's about to fall. The guy is crying, everybody was crying. And Lamini speaking word to his friends, but they don't listen to him. He just begging, everybody was crying, fighting for him. We were praying, it was midnight around 2 a.m. and we were praying for next day morning. Nobody listened to him. So they returned without our bags from the valley. They decided to send us further to the valley. So everybody was started crying, and we tried to do something if we can get something. So I was able to get my hand off from the wire. Yes. And I tell my guys my hand is off. So I decided to try if I can help, but I was not able. So everybody was just, it's like they are giving you a message. Go and tell if you have chance. If God wants to save you so that you can tell the world how and why Eja may have killed us. Yes.
The people in the said that to you?
Yes. It's God who wants to save you to tell the world how and why Eja may have killed us. Some of them giving you a message if you have time to my family. It was a sad moment.
How many of you were in that?
8.
That 8 of you?
8.
Okay.
Yes, we have 1 Nigerian, we have Togolese, we have Gambian, and the rest is Ghanaian. So we are just giving them this message. If you have chance to go, but this is not my I always continue. It was a bad moment. So when the pickup was about to stop, I jumped from the pickup. Who is that? But I did not look back. Started running 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. I was tied by a certain rope and it pulled me down. And gunshot follows. So I decided to relax. because they did not notify the actual direction I was going. So they just bulletin everywhere. They break a torch, a big torch, when they throw it here, they spray there, when you throw it here. So when I'm about to wake myself up again, I heard a cry from the pickup side. Oh God save us, oh God save us, oh God save us. In Jew, honestly, they are crying. Oh my, people are crying for their mothers, crying for their wives, crying for God. Gunshot follows. And nothing happens again. So I don't know that I was close to the road. So the pickup returned top speed and nobody was in the bucket. So they take the right direction. I also take the left direction. I spent 3 days in the forest. The 4th day I crossed the forest to the other side. And then there's a lot of farmers there. The young ones who saw me coming out from the forest, they just ran away. And the other ones came to me. I was at Casamas. I was close to Bunkley. So Bunkley, yes. So they came and they sent me, they give me cow milk, rice. So next day, a guy came there with a horse, the wheel. They came for groundnut, so they put me on the groundnut and sent me to a gendarme. There's a small gendarme camp there. They arrested me there. So next day, they brought a car from Bunkley Gendarmerie camp. They sent me to Bunkley Gendarmerie camp. They sent me to hospital for 2 days treatment. Later, they came for my statement. They give me money. They should have passed Tambakunda.
Was that the Senegalese authorities
yes.
at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. At the gendarme camp at Bunkley. So they give me money and they show me another way that I will not pass Gambia because they have my statement, they have my passport picture, they have my fingerprints. So if I will pass here again, definitely I will go to arrest. So I passed there to Dakar. So Dakar, the news have broken everywhere. They have been killed. But don't forget this, one guy have chance to escape when the first killings occurred in Brufut. A certain guy have a chance to escape to Ghana town where everybody saw him. And he reported to the elders of Ghana town, but they did not understand that this Ghana town, the Gambia authorities can do that. So they decided to send the guy back to Ghana town police station, and he was arrested, including the chief of Ghana town. So now the guy disappeared, and he is nowhere to be found.
Up to now? Up to now.
So over 40 people, the souls, over 40 souls, is in hands of the Ajame. He just disappeared, all of them, and they are nowhere to be found till now.
This is the story of Martin and so many other people that were massacred in 2005. If you tell this to an ordinary Gambian only, they will say, oh no. I mean, including myself, when we were here, you will say, oh no, this would have never happened in Gambia.
Because of the nature of the Gambia, people don't believe that these things happen in Gambia, or even if it happens, they don't believe that it's done by Gambians. We've heard so many times when somebody complains about a killing, or we hear stories and say, they're not Gambians. It's not been committed by Gambians. But then I just wanted to ask Martin, as a lone survivor, how did you at any point in time just feel like dying? Because mentally, emotionally, how have you been surviving from 2005 to now, knowing and what you've seen and what you have witnessed? How has it been for you?
No, it hasn't been easy, Tell my people that I'm coming to Gambia. The intention is that every Gambian is a Gambian. If you don't take care, you will not, at the times here, people are praying hard because to hear from me in time. Because about 20 minutes and 10 minutes and they will not hear from you, they will think, hey, what has happened? What has happened? But I think the situation now is different. But let me tell you one thing. We are in the hands of Gambians authority. We are in the Bundun cells. No rogue elements can enter police station and take you from the hands of police and go and kill you. Yes, so actually. And there is a Gambian whose wife was at that time pregnant woman who always used to come to police station, Bundun police station, brought us food. And today is the day I saw the girl, the pregnant woman. The girl was now 13 years now, So it wasn't an easy story.
Before I take my first commercial break, I want to bring this question to both of you. In 2006, Jammeh lost election and he was sent on exile. When you saw him board of plane, leaving, going on exile, what was that feeling like for you?
Last time he came to Ghana, but the women decided to go and demonstrate against him at the airport. They want to go and show their nakedness to her. you know, but at that time I don't have capacity to bring them from villages and all those places, you know, so I decide they should wait for better time, you know. So we are praying. In fact, we are in Ghana, but we are praying that he will lose election so that, because in Africa here, when somebody imposes and, you know, doing something, they don't want to tell the truth to his face. They just want to wait for him to commit the atrocity and waste people's life after he will come and tell you the story. So the time he lost the election, I was thinking that, you know, God has listened to our prayers. We are hoping for someone to approach and help the victims, poor people, we call ourselves ordinary Ghanaians, for justice. So one day I had a call, somebody was after me, looking for me, and very lucky it was Brody and Ben, Tra International. So we started putting things together, brought the family together again, and the hope of justice, the candle has been now lighted. So we hope that we will find justice and see Jammeh proving whether he's guilty or not, and we want to know and we want to see who is guilty.
Very quickly, when Jammeh left on that fateful day, so many people cried. Some cried because they were supporters of him. Others cried because it's over. We are never going to have justice. When you saw him leave, did you ever think that we will have justice, victims will have justice?
Well, obviously, Yahya Jammeh chose Equatorial Guinea because that is the safest place in the region. But, you know, the world is different today, and people are organized, they're demanding justice. Obviously, the president of Equatorial Guinea, Teodoro Obiang, has said he's going to protect Yahya Jammeh, but I think, you know, in the face, we showed in the Habré case. I mean, Wad was protecting him,
yeah. Yeah.
You know, we showed that with tenacity and perseverance, when the victims tell their story, this is the key, these stories, making it even less about Yahya Jammeh than about Martin, than about Yamami, than about Fatoumata Sandeh, than about Imam Babalay. These people have a right to justice. And people, over time, identify with that quest for justice. And I think, you know, as you said, in this incident alone, you have citizens of Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Gambia. So if we can create a movement, a political, then even Obiang in Equatorial Guinea is going to have to say, you know what, you think he should be prosecuted, you think you know there should be a trial here, we'll have the trial. I think we can create those conditions.
We can create those conditions. We're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, the TRRC has been launched. What so many of us, including myself, have said, where are going to be the evidences? The NIA is still functioning. The people that allegedly helped Jammeh are still in the system. What evidence are we going to get to prosecute Jammeh when we come back?
Coming up on Kerr Fatou.
In the Hissan Habré case, we found the police files, tens of thousands of documents, exactly how it was all done. I haven't, maybe those documents there, I haven't seen them. And I'm very afraid that documents and tangible forensic evidence has already been destroyed.
Sampap
Dena
Déedéet daf ma yónni woon ma joué ko bii bi waaw yàlla def mu gagné jàppoon $100,000 la gagné.
La ilaha illallah.
te yow xam nga ne sama papa dafa amee cardiaque.
yow da ngaa dof yow xam nga luy $100,000.
am naa ko kay man naa lu ñu bëggoon nga dimbali ci.
demal na nga def damaa toog rek sama xel mi ne ci yow xam nga barki démb li daal si benn waay fee. waaw ma romb ko rek. barki démb. waaw muy yuuxu di tëb. ma ni kii lu ko dal ñu ne ma daal ci loto gaming Gambie bi la laal.
jar na ko
laal na ci lu di. waaw
nga dafa am Quarté am Kente am Tiercé waaw maanaam nag tey jii. waaw Kente bi la. te jackpot bee passé. xaalis
Kente mooy lan.
Kente maanaam mooy juróomi fas yi.
waaw beneen bi.
am na Quarté. mooy ñeenti fas yi. ak Tiercé. tey nag xaalis bi daa gën a yokku.
lu tax
ndax jackpot bële dañ kaa tegaat ci bii maanaam juróomi fas yi boo ko jàppee ci ordre mooy risque nga désordre bi sax day fay. ah bu ma ko
yooyu moom noonu la demee da ngay dem rek jiyee.
am na lu ma
man
yaakaar
gis naa seen kii yi kees yu ndaw yi ci biir dëkk bi.
laay
mais daal dama ni lii moom amul xaalis da nga ciy def sa xaalis da doo am.
jël wecce rek sànni ko fa xool jëmbat la.
ah
laa ilaha illallah. yow li nga wax ni tey ji bu yàlla dogaloon ma gañe ko lu mu gàtt.
fi mu toll nii boo gañe woon $100,000.
waaw lu may def.
waaw nooy def.
xam nga yow sama xarit nga.
waaw
damay fexe nga rey say noonu.
ci nan.
lu mu gàtt $50,000.
waay.
Thierno woowee ambulance.
lan la lu xew ni
sa baay gay dee na.
sama papa gay lu ko rey.
$100,000 dalaa ne ko boo ma gàññaloon si li ma la yónni dama ko koy jox mu daanu ni sama kaw.
man waxuma ko mu waxee woon la ko noonu yow la ko waroon informé ndax yow yaa ko gañe. yaa gañe jàppoon.
Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Brusubi roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
fay lempo warugal la si képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga ak ñu fi dëkk bu fekkee ne ci at mi sa koom-koom weesu na $2,000 mbete weer bu nekk di nga am lu tollu si $2,000. lempo si la nguur gi di sukkandeku ngir liggéey yokkute réew mi. GRA mooy banxaas bu nguuri Gambia sas ngir mu fayeku lépp luy lempo ci biir réew mi ba tax na GRA di yëgal faykati lempo yi ne warugal la pour ñu fay lu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment. maanaam bépp contract bu waay joxe te si biir réew mi la ñu toog kon xaalis si contract bi ngeen nangotoo war nga cee wàññi ci xayma téeméer bu nekk fukka bu fekkee ne contracto bi dëkkut ci biir réew mi bu boobaa di nga war a wàññi téeméer bu nekk fukka ak juróom. lii mooy lempo bu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment. lii mooy lempo bi nga xam ne yow mi joxe contract warugal la nga wëlbatiku dem fay ko ci maakaani GRA tax office bu la gën a jege mbete ci banque yi GRA jagleel pour fay lempo. war ngaa jébal lempo bi si diiri fukki fan ak juróom gannaaw bi nga wàññee ci xaalis si contract bi. amul benn contracto bu ñu teggil fay lempo bi xanaa mu fekk ne nguuri Gambia ñoo ko jégale boole si projet yi nga xam ne mbootaay ndimbali ñoo koy dépense. GRA di fayeku lempo ngir yokkute réew mi.
Every young Gambian dreams of a university degree. He wants a good paying job after graduation, a pretty wife, and ultimately own a dream home.
What if I can't afford my desired dream home?
And that is why you need to visit Universal Properties.
We specialize in customer satisfaction. We listen to every of our clients' needs when we show the properties to our clients. Before you know it, you hear the client saying,
I like this house.
This is the room that cuts my heart.
And most of the time, they cling to the door, never to let go. Most clients want to close the deal right there. And that is why we always have their contracts in the trunk of our cars. We work at our client's pace. No haggle, no hassle.
We're waiting for you at our office in Kyere Avenue here in the Gambia.
Have you run out of cash power? Do you want to transfer funds to your family? Or do you want salary advance without coming to the bank? Your banking services have just been brought to you on your mobile phone. Download and install from your App Store or Google Play Trust Bank's mobile app. Simply search for TBL mobile app and follow the instructions. You can access the following services: funds transfer, cash power purchase, forex rates enquiries, mobile airtime top-up, mini statement, balance enquiry, TBL app, is the only app that allows you to take salary advance and many more. You can also interact with your customers using our USSD code by dialing *533#. At Trust Bank, we bring innovation that is useful to you, our valued customer. With our mobile app and USSD, banking is at your fingertips. Trust Bank Limited, proudly Gambian.
Make a difference and text CAR CAR to 900 to win a car with Gamcell. Gamcell and Rotary Club of Bruceby brings you a chance to win a brand new SUV Corando. The more you text, the more chances you win. Join Gamcell today for your chance to win a car, fridge freezers, televisions, smartphones, and lots of cash prizes. Draws will be held live on GRTS TV. Proceeds will be used to help the humanitarian activities of the Rotary Club of Bruceby in the Gambia. Every SMS costs $10. Your SMS could save someone's life. Join us and text CAR CAR to 900 today. A brand new SUV Corando awaits you. Rotary, making a difference. Gamcell, Yaiborom.
Welcome back to Kerr Fatou. Brody, actually, with what happened with him and so many other Gambian victims, Jammeh left, and since he left, he's been quiet. We have not had anything significant about him. As a lead lawyer, as somebody who's trying to get him to justice, are you hearing anything from the former president?
No, I think, well, we heard, of course, the WhatsApp conversation that was leaked. Which makes it clear that he's still, you know, involved, and you know, I think that made a lot of people sit up and say, "Uh-oh," and for us, actually, the idea of, you know, having him, for instance, investigated and sent to Ghana is also a way of sidelining him, of taking him out of, you know, undermining his possibility of making mischief. You know, experience shows that once, you know, that once a dictator is put in jail and once he's facing charges, that a lot of the support, you know, slips away. I also think that once people, you know, once the Truth Commission starts, the TRRC, and you start hearing all of the stories, I mean, we know even today a lot more about the crimes of the Jammeh regime than we did 18 months ago when he left office. I mean, people have come from this case, but also the victims of the HIV treatment program, people who were subjected to witch hunts who are coming forward. We're learning a lot more, and I think that the Truth Commission, the TRRC process, by giving a platform to all the people who have been victimized, is going to generate even more momentum towards his eventual prosecution. And I think that the Truth Commission, of course, is also going to be investigating, you know, the links and how the junglers worked and how the NIA worked. So hopefully, by the time the TRRC is finished, we will have a pretty complete picture of, you know, how the crimes were carried out, what the role of Yahya Jammeh was, what the role of the other leaders were, plus a record on which to base a legal case, as well as, I think, a momentum, a popular momentum, as people listen to these stories for justice.
I mean, let me just do a quick follow-up on this one. A lot of people said, well, Equatorial Guinea is no signatory to any of the IIC protocols. And even with all these cases building up a legal against him, how are you going to get to Jammeh, even when Obiang has openly said he's not going to hand him over, he's going to protect him?
You know, Equatorial Guinea they're not a party to the ICC, but they are a party to other conventions, including the International UN Convention Against Torture. And the UN Convention Against Torture, which is the same convention that prosecuted Pinochet, the same convention that prosecuted Habré, says that when an accused torturer is in your territory, you must either prosecute or extradite. It is not under international law, you can't say, I'm going to protect him. No. Obviously, nobody wants to see him tried in Equatorial Guinea. It would be a phony setup. But if Ghana or Gambia requested his extradition, I believe that you would have support. I believe you would have support from Senegal. I believe you would have support from the other countries who lost people, Nigeria, Ghana. I believe other democratic leaders in the region, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin. I think that ultimately Teodoro Obiang would bow to regional pressure as well as the law and allow an extradition of Yahya Jammeh to face justice here or in Ghana or anywhere.
Actually, I was going to ask the same question that the IEC is not a secret thing. I mean, the Equatorial Guinea, they're not a signatory to the ICC. But then just coming back to asking from what you said, what if we get how is the Ghana government participating in this justice for Jammeh? Because we know there's about 44 Ghanaians that have been allegedly killed, or they have been killed by Jammeh. So what is their participation in bringing Jammeh?
And of course, the current president was the foreign minister when this incident happened. So it's very...
It's been said that they've been paid. So I don't really know...
The victims' families.
The victims' families, so maybe Martin can shed more light on that, have been paid. So would that not really affect the justice of... If you have accepted payment for a crime that has been committed, how would that not affect the justice system?
You see, before we be compensated, it must be proved by competent for courts. So Yahya Jammeh said that I have found 8 dead bodies in my territory. That I don't know what's happening. I don't have anything to do with that. But in the material ground, because it happens in Gambia, have $500,000 for the funeral and the family. So it's not compensation.
Yeah.
Why did you compensate people? Why you don't have anything to do with that? Why did you compensate? When Yahya Jammeh called it compensation, then you ask, why did you compensate? So he said, you don't know anything, but because it's happening in Gambia, that's why he's giving $500,000 for the funeral and the burial service for the people and for the families. So there is nothing like compensation happening anywhere so far as this case is concerned.
So it was just... So, but
and
how...
Let me just say
go ahead.
We met, with the fall, because as you may remember, in 2008 or 2009, ECOWAS investigated and produced a report that he referred to earlier that said that Martin's companions were killed by rogue elements. I mean, for anybody who's following what happened in Turkey and Saudi Arabia, the idea that this kind of, rogue elements. In any event, with the fall of Yahya Jammeh, we were able to investigate the case, not just from Martin's side, but from the Gambian side. And we interviewed many people. We interviewed a jungler. We interviewed people who were involved in each step of the way, people who were involved in ferrying them from one place. It's quite clear that Martin's companions were killed by the junglers. A death squad that reported to Yahya Jammeh. They were arrested they were taken to naval headquarters in the presence of Usman Sanko, who was at the time, I think, the chief of police, later became interior minister, the head of the army, the head of the navy. So these were not rogue elements. We presented this report, Martin and I and our colleagues, Aisha Jammeh from the Victim Center. We presented this report to President Akufo-Addo. We met with him. He took this seriously. He said, look, 44 of my citizens have been killed. I mean, just imagine in America if 44 Americans were killed somewhere. And they have tasked the Justice Ministry and the Foreign Ministry to examine the political and juridical implications of taking up this case. So what we're hoping, and it hasn't happened yet, is that Ghana will reach out to Gambia, where the crime began, to Senegal, where the crime ended, to Equatorial Guinea to see what they think about all of this, and we'll take up an investigation, and we'll go back and actually carry out a true investigation. That investigation, we're convinced, will show that Martin and his companions were in the hands of the junglers. And if the facts warrant, they would then request Yahya Jammeh's extradition to Ghana. So that's the route that we're hoping to see taken.
So far, since you take this case, is there any, apart from Martin's, which is the key, I mean, evidence that, you know, that's the most important evidence that you have got, is there any other substantial evidence that you have gathered to, that we don't know of? Because
Sure. I mean, Martin, of course, can check what happened to him. Martin doesn't know and can't expect him to know exactly who was behind it. He doesn't know who gave orders to whom.
Yeah.
So what we've been able to determine is who gave orders to whom. And as I said, we interviewed a jungler, but you also have on the radio Bailo, who is a former jungler who's given his testimony on the radio, several others, policemen. We interviewed witnesses in Brufut. We interviewed people who investigated the case for the government. We also interviewed people who destroyed the evidence. So, I mean, Martin, as he said, he was fingerprinted, his picture was taken, all of that was destroyed, and they were destroyed on the orders of Yahya Jammeh. And that is also a crime. It's a cover-up, and it also makes, under international law, there's what's called the crime of enforced disappearance, which means when you abduct somebody and then you refuse to say or you destroy the evidence of what happened. And in fact, that crime is an international crime that gives Ghana competence, even though legal competence, juridical competence, even though the crime occurred in Gambia and in Senegal. So we, you know, obviously if Ghana took up the case, they would interview the people we interviewed. There are also many junglers in custody here who they could interview. The Gambian government, Minister of Justice Tambadou, has said that they are quite willing to cooperate with the Ghanaian authorities. I think, you know, for Gambia, again, given that it's a little early to think about bringing Yahya Jammeh back here to be prosecuted, the idea that for this crime, waiting, you know, until the situation is such that Yahya Jammeh could be brought back and prosecuted for the totality of what happened, the idea that he could be prosecuted for this crime in Ghana is an attractive one politically as well, I think, to the government of Gambia.
Martin, it seems like we can only account for 8 bodies. So do you know what happened to because it's 44 we're talking about. So what happened to the rest of the bodies? Were they just disappeared, or I know they've been killed, but what's the account that they've given for those people?
The bodies, the 8 dead bodies we are talking about, they are not the ones I was included to the forest. So if you add the 7, my competitor, the 7 to 8, now you have 15, including me, 16. So the rest, we don't know where they are.
Sure. We believe basically that there were 2 separate moments. The day after they were arrested, 8 bodies turned up in Brufut. And those are the only 8 bodies that Yahya Jammeh ever recognized as having died in this. The others were Martin and about 40, 45 others were held in police stations around, as he said, around Banjul, and then taken to, basically taken to Kanalai. And we believe that all or almost all of them were assassinated across the border in Casamance and are buried in Casamance. There was another man he described who escaped and was to Ghana town. There's another man who escaped in the same group as Martin, and who was then, they caught up to him, and according to a jungler, I believe it was according to Bailo, he was then chopped into pieces like a Tabaski ram.
Wow. Now that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission has been set up, it brought a lot of relief to victims. But so many other people said, really, what are they going to find when the evidences have been destroyed? The NIA, that was the place where all these things, most of the things happened, it should be a crime scene of itself, but people are still working there. Some of the people that are allegedly helped Jammeh do all of these things are still in the system. How are they not going to cover up what they did or what a friend of them did? What kind of commission are you looking at? Do you have faith in this commission that has been set up?
Well, I think that's a very important question. At first, the answer to the end is yes, I do. Well, this Truth Commission has been set up after, I think, an unprecedented national consultation. I mean, I'm familiar with processes around the world, and I don't think there are too many that have had the same degree of participation and transparency. I think Baba Jallo has done really an amazing job of bringing people along with the process, keeping everybody aware, explaining everything that happened. But the question, and so I'm hopeful that it will do, you know, it will carry out, it will continue to carry out its work in that vein. The question you ask is a very serious question. All of the other cases that I've worked on have been very rich in documents. I mean, the Hisson Habré case, we found the police files, tens of thousands of documents, exactly how it was all done. I haven't, maybe those documents there, I haven't seen them. And I'm very afraid that documents and tangible forensic evidence has already been destroyed. I can't speak to who is still there and who is not. Obviously, I think as the TRRC moves along, if they do have serious suspicions about people, they will have to make that known in real time and not wait 3 years, 2 or 3 years, so that, you know, adjustment, so that people can, the appropriate measures can be taken. But I think this is a real question. What is happening to the evidence? Is it being destroyed?
Is it being?
So it seems like the evidence we have is mostly of people's testimonies.
Yes, which is so far as I'm aware. I mean, there may be things, and of course, you know, that is important evidence. You know, clearly we wouldn't know anything about this incident if it hadn't been for Martin, and the 8 bodies that turned up in Brufut. But you know, documents are the king and queen of evidence. It doesn't die. It doesn't lie. It can lie, but it doesn't die. And you know, when you are prosecuting, I mean, Martin was never saw Yahya Jammeh. And so when you are prosecuting a head of state, you need to make that link. You need to show that the person who victimized Martin was reporting to, or was reporting to somebody who was reporting to Yahya Jammeh. And for that, you need one of two things. You need insider testimony. So to say, yes, I heard the order, this is how it worked, which is something in most cases you have. Or you need documents to say, look, this is the, and I have a feeling that there may not be so many. I mean, I don't think a lot of these things were written down. I don't think that Yahya Jammeh wrote an order, put a stamp on it, and said, do this. So you are, in many instances, looking at insider testimony. Talk to the people who can make that link.
And Martin, are you, what kind of support do you get from your government, Ghanaian government, considering the current president was the Foreign Affairs Minister who came to meet Jammeh about this issue? He was the one negotiating with the government of Ghana when he was the Foreign Affairs Minister. Sure. I'm sure this might be personal to him. What kind of support do you get from the government of Ghana?
I don't know the support, maybe in terms of financial support or
no, I'm not saying
assistance.
financial when it means commitment to this case.
Yeah, the commitment, I see, though they will not say we will not persecute the case, but the commitment you see is not to the standard that the families and the victims are looking up. So that's why we need the victims in Gambia and other Senegalese and the Togolese to come together so that we can push, so that it may be not in the burden of totally Ghanaians, but the West African nations, and so that we all can fight together and bring Yahya Jammeh to justice. Because now we know, so far as we're concerned, we know that it's in the hands of Foreign Affairs and Justice Minister. So now we are looking upon them to find out, because it's just a case that not me alone. We have a lot of people who are witness and testify to this story. So there's a lot of evidence, and what we need, like we say, we need to open another investigation so that we can solidly gather everything and anybody who knows anything about it, so that Ghana can have solid case to present in court.
Brody, working on this case, what commitment, do you get any commitment from governments whose citizens were involved in this? Of course, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Gambia. Wouldn't it be good to have all of these regional leaders commit to something like this? That will help the case to be able to put pressure on Equatorial Guinea. But if we don't have commitment from these leaders, it will be difficult to bring justice to this particular case.
Absolutely, you should come work for us. You know the strategy. I tell you, this is the goal. One of the problems is that we don't know the names of many of the people. You know, all the records were destroyed. We know the names of the Ghanaians because this man, he didn't just flee and say, okay, I'm alive. He went from village to village. He said, I know, you know, Osonu, who's from Barakum, and he went to see Osonu's village and he found Osonu. This kind of thing. And so thanks to Martin, we have 20 families out of the 44 who fight and who petition. I mean, these are poor people. These are not people with a lot of political clout, but you have them. When the report about Martin was on the radio, a Togolese fellow came forward and said, that's where I lost my brother. So now we know who the Togolese are. We don't know who the Nigerians are, which obviously would make a difference because it's Nigeria. Senegal, I think, you know, I mean, we've talked with the Senegalese authorities, and I think that they will be supportive. Although we don't know who the two Senegalese are. We will find these out. I mean, actually, just in these days, we're meeting somebody whose brother can tell us who is staying with it. We're learning more names as we go along. But yes, ultimately, what we will need is a front of all of the countries who have lost citizens.
Do you think Gambia should take the lead role? Of course, Gambia and Senegal, Ghana, the crime was committed here. Even though we had more Ghanaians, do you think Gambia should take a lead role? And what is the commitment of the Gambia government?
You know, we have had a very good relationship on this. I've met on a number of occasions with the Justice Minister as well as with the previous Foreign Minister, Lawyer Darbo, with the current Foreign Minister, Tangara. I think they would like to see justice for this case. This is a, you know, as I said, it offers a beginning of accountability for Yahya Jammeh without having to bring him back now to a still in transition Gambia. So I think that we're on our way to generating this support, but we have a way to go.
You seem to spend a lot of your time in your life now fighting for countries who have dictatorship and victims. What motivates you? Why?
First of all, let me just say that I come from a country that is turning in a very, very bad direction.
I wanted to come there, actually. I wanted to say...
I mean, I have to say that I feel as an American, I'm deeply disturbed at what is happening in my own country, and I consider myself to be part of the resistance in the United States, and you know, we have important days in my own country, and I'm keenly aware that my #1 job is in my own country. I have this knack, or I have a particular thing that I seem to be able to do. My father was a Holocaust survivor. He was in German labor camps in World War II. My mother was. I grew up in a black neighborhood, in a poor black neighborhood in Brooklyn. My mother was an inner school city teacher. I was always about fighting against injustice. I grew up wanting to fight against injustice in the United States, then I ended up hitchhiking around the world and getting involved in other countries. In Nicaragua, I spent time, my first major foray into human rights was 5 months documenting atrocities committed by US-backed counter-revolutionaries who were undermining and overthrowing the government of Nicaragua. And so I've been, and in fact, I have to say, this is the first case I've worked on of a dictator who was not put into power by Ronald Reagan. I mean, Pinochet, or supported by Ronald Reagan. I mean, I worked on Pinochet, I worked on Duvalier, I worked on Guatemala's dictators, I worked on Hisson Habré, who was brought to power by the CIA. So, but, you know, for me, I have to say, it's a pleasure. I mean, when I meet somebody like Martin, and I see what he is doing, or, you know, how people like Fatoumata Sandeng are taking the heritage of their father and trying to keep faith with their parents. For me, it's a pleasure to be able to be part of that and to be, and you know, when you win, which is not always, and I've lost a lot more cases than I've won in my life. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but you know, it's to be able to help him do what, you know, what is his life's quest is just very gratifying for me.
Sophie meew la bu sell te neex baax na ci halal ak mag yépp am na calcium iron protein ak vitamine yu bari. Sophie full cream powder milk la am na 20 gram 200 gram ak 400 gram ku ko ñam dootu ko bàyyi. Sophie proudly Gambian.
GIA, the Gambia International Airlines, is getting bigger, better, and stronger as the sole ground operator at the Banjul International Airport. With an expansion in travel services, customers are assured of GIA's capacity to cater for all their travel needs, provided by professional, experienced, and ever-smiling staff. GIA's Hajj package and services, by far the best in the country, give the customers the opportunity for a memorable Hajj experience. For a more efficient cargo services, GIA means business as it launches its new multi-million-dollar ultra-modern cargo complex to revitalize and stimulate air transport. GIA, the pride of the Gambia.
Wow, and finally, Martin, what's going to be your message to Gambian victims who are sitting out there right now in the living room and they're scared to tell their story? They don't want people to know what happened to them or what happened to their colleagues or what happened to their fathers. So many people in the 22 years have become victims of the former regime, but a lot more of them are still quiet and they don't want to share their story. What's your message to those people?
Thank you. But as we know, the True Commission is, a solid commission that we can trust. We had them back in Ghana, but I don't know, them, but what they are doing here is like they are putting things in order. So we hope that everybody must voice out what is paining, because if you don't voice, it will kill you. Every day you have bad feeling in you, So when you have somebody to report your case to, not saying to, but you telling him to, find justice for you, it's better for you to report. That the True Commission will be the people we should trust, and we know that they will put things in order. So every kind of victims must to come together and fight. It's not for today, for now, future, so that when this president will come, he say, no, the best policy for my people is protecting them, giving them rights. If you give them the right, you provide them what they need. And if you protect them, not only your people, but the foreigners within your territory. So because that's why we voted you to be power. So the victims, they should have come together and fight for justice. And I know surely that the victims in Ghana also, we are doing our best so that one day we all come together and meet the Hejame in court. But one thing I want to say that I hope everybody will feel painful when you are in your mother's womb and your father is killing in the forest, So today I have opportunity to meet one of the True Commission, and I say there is a girl, the Tunkare's daughter. It's a daughter for the whole Gambians.
Yeah.
So the government and the two commission, they shouldn't, I mean, take out their hands from the daughter. They should take proper care for, you know, financially and everything. But I'm telling the victims, they should come together and fight. And I know one day we will win our case and we will have justice and we can have better Africa, better West Africa, and Gambia will move in the right direction.
Thank you so much for your courage. And Brody, finally, are we going to have justice?
I hope so. I think you know, with perseverance. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in this world. I mean, Yahya Jammeh could die tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think there's every possibility that if the victims don't give up, and I see them not giving, when I look at Baba Haider, I say this man is on a mission to keep faith with his father. And when I see people like that, and I see this, I say it has to happen. So.
Wow. And thank you so much for what you're doing. It's a great pleasure meeting you, and definitely you're doing a great job, and the entire Gambia is looking forward, and we are really, really hopeful for this case because you have done it for other countries, and we're very hopeful. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Olive.
My final words would be just, I say you're very courageous and continue speaking up because maybe one person can hear you and that can make the difference. And to you, I say thank you. You've done it for other countries. We are hopeful. We are very, very hopeful. And the good thing about this is not only Jammeh, because it trickles down to a lot of people. So Jammeh might not come back, might not be prosecuted, but at least some of us can sit at home, sleep at least one night and say, we didn't get Jammeh, but we got this person. Because justice needs to prevail. These victims, they need closure. And people watching, I'm telling you, if you're a victim, come out and speak up. If Martin can speak up from Ghana, we that are here, we need to speak up as well. We need to start from home. And with that, hopefully, someday, we get the justice that we all hope and want. Thank you.
It took Chad 27 years. I think it's not going to take us 22 years. So we thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming to our studio. And I hope the Gambia government will put more commitment to this case and all other cases that are going to be brought forward by the TRRC. Gambians need closure. Other countries that were involved in these massacres needs closure. So it's going to take a long time, but I think the Gambia is ready for the ride.